Welcome. In this tutorial, we are going to explore sections in Revit. We are going to start from the basics all the way up to the more advanced functionalities and settings. Now, to find the section tool, we are going to go to View and then click Section. Here we will have the option to place one. Another way is to go up here to the quick option toolbars, and then you will see this little icon which is called section. You click on that and you can start to place the section. Now let's see how to place the section. Let's go to section. We specify the first point and we specify the second point. As you can notice, the first point is the section head and the second point is the section tail. If you draw a section from right to left, you will draw a down-facing horizontal section. But if you draw a section from left to right, you will draw an up-facing horizontal section. Let's now go to the vertical section here. Go to section. You can notice that if you draw a section from up to down, you will be able to draw a right-facing vertical section, and if you draw a section from down to up, you will be able to draw a left-facing vertical section. Now that we have placed our section, let's see on how to change some of the properties. Let's select this section here. You will notice these two arrows here. If you click on this one, you are able to flip the section to the other side. Now, select it again and look down here. If you click on these arrows, you are able to switch between tails. Now, you select it, you are able to extend it either up or down in both horizontal and vertical directions. Now, let us open our section view to see how it looks like. We are going to open our section by going to this section head and double click to these pointing arrows, and here we have our section. Another way to open our section is to go to the project browser, then go to sections, and then you will double click to open a section. As you can notice here, you are required to know the name of the section that you want to open. Now, let us say that you are not satisfied with the look of this section. Let's go back to the ground floor plan, and maybe we want to make it a little bit interesting by passing through this door, but it also passes through this window. To do that, we can select this section and go to split segment, and we come to this point and we pick one point. What this does is it allows us to split the section into different parts that passes through different positions. Now you see that you can be able to drag this segment all the way to the center of this door if this is what you want, or to the other side if this is what you want. You can also do it on both sides. If you go to the downside of it, now you can drag the other segment to the position that you desire. Now let's do it to this side and place it in the middle of this door. We are going to open it again, and you can see the differences. Now we are going to look on section break. Sometimes you do not really want to interrupt the flow plan. You want it to be clean as possible. So you sometimes want to break this section so that it passes outside of the flow plan. To do that, you go to select the section, and then you go to this little juggle in between. You click on that, and you are able to even extend these points to the positions that you really like, and the section will remain the same. If I open this section, it's going to be the same section, but it doesn't interrupt the flow plan. Now let us go on and look on how to edit section properties. We select the section, and then we go to edit type, and we are going to concentrate on the section tag. We are going to go to the section tag here, click on these three dots, and then we have another dialog box where you can now specify the section head and the section tail. Now you can go to this one, section head, and maybe call it section head field or section head no arrow. Then I will click OK, and then I will apply. Now you can see how it is changing. It's going to remain the same but with no arrows. Let's go select it again, go back to edit type, go to this property, and then I will change this one into something maybe like section head open, something like that, and I will click OK, apply. Now you can see it's same, but this arrow is not filled. Now let's go back to select this one and maybe bring it back to where it was before. Click OK, and that's it. So you can do that on both section head or section tail. If you go here now, you can change the tail. You can see that we have section tail field. Now you can do the same section tail now field horizontal, something like that. Let's go on apply. Now you can see how this is changing from vertical to horizontal here. We're now going to go on and talk about section extents. When you select this section, the section extents are highlighted by these dashed blue lines. This simply means the range of model elements that the section can encompass. As you can see on this section here is able to encompass only until this line here. It means that this section will not be able to look far to this end grid here. You can either decide to stretch it until it reaches that desired position, or you can leave it like this. Now, let us select this section, go to the properties menu, and then let us talk about this crop view. When it's checked, this is when you can see the lines that encompasses the entire view extents. If you uncheck this one, you now have the far line, which is like a far clip, and you do no longer have the lines on the edge. This means that it doesn't show the extents on the edges. Let me check it back. You can now see that we have these edges. This means that the view of this section will not extend beyond this line, but you can do it manually, and the section will not really change. Let's talk about the far clipping and the far clipping offset. We select this section again, go to the extents, and you will notice the far clipping and the far clipping offsets. The far clipping is normally the property of the section that determines how to display the elements cut by the section cut plane. The far clip offset, on the other hand, is like the distance between the section cut plane and the far clip extent. Now let's see how these concepts work in real time. Let's select this section, and I'm going to stretch the far extents, and as I stretch them, please have a look on these numbers. If I stretch a little bit far, you can see the distances here are changing. Let me stretch it again. You see the distances are changing. I'm going to bring it back to kind of reduce, and now you can see that the distances are changing. Now let us see the different far clipping options. First we have, let's select this section again, and we will have the no clip, the clip without line, or clip with line. Let's see how they work. I'm going to open this section, and I will undock this one. So that we can view the changes in real time. Now, to illustrate these options, I'm going to use another wall outside of the extents. I'm going to go to this wall, right click, then create similar, and I'm going to create another wall from here to maybe something like that. Let me make it like this so that we can have various options. Now when we select this section, we can simply see that the extents are not reaching this wall, and here on this section we cannot see that particular wall. It's impossible. Now let us do some changes. I'm going to stretch this extents until it reaches this wall. When it reaches that particular wall, you can see that now it starts to be visible in the floor plan. Let's do that. Look at that section, and you will see that we have this wall here. Maybe we can go to shaded so that we can have this view very well. Now going outside of that, you can see that the wall is now taking a larger shape as the extents encompasses the entire wall. I can do it also to enlarge or to include the entire wall, and you can see that the entire wall is now visible. Let me bring it back. Now you see the wall disappears. Now let us talk about the clipping without line. Here I'm going to stretch this extents right in the middle of this section. Now you can see that this section here is displaying this wall. From this line here, Revit is going to clip this particular facade here. It's going to clip it from this line, but it's not going to give a line on these edges here. That's why you can see that we do not really have lines here. It's totally different when I encompass the entire wall here, where you can see this wall, because that is an edge. Here it's kind of different because the option is clipping without the line. Now we do not have a line here. Now let's go to this option. Let's go to section and then go to clip with a line. Now click OK. And now you can see that we have a solid line here. Maybe it's now not visible again, but you can see we have a line here. You can see that Revit has clipped at this particular line here, and it leaves a line. It is providing a line here. Let me switch it back to without a line and you will see the changes. If I click OK, now you can see we don't have a line. The last option is with no clip. If no clip is selected and I click OK, we will automatically have a kind of infinity view range. In that case, you see that we still have this line. This line is not for clipping. This line here is the line of this edge here, because now with no clip, the section extents are extended to infinity. That is why we are even having this line here. Now, we are going to close our tutorial by having a look on size crop option. Let's use this section again. I'm going to select this section and then go to size crop, and you have this dialog box where you can change the width or the height of our section. You can see here that you have 278 millimeters and 102 millimeters as height. Now I'm going to change this one. Let me put 120 for instance and hit apply. Now you will see that here on the floor plan, the section extent has really reduced closer to this distance, and the section has automatically cropped according to what changes are happening on the floor plan. Let me now put it back to 278, and maybe what I'm going to do here, let me put 50 for instance here, and you will see what is going to happen. Apply, and now you see the section is cropping based on the height, but the length has not changed. Now I'm going to put back 102 to bring our section back to their original dimensions. Hit OK. Now you see that we can also change the section extents using the size crop options. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. See you next time.